Two beloved wooden roller coasters have reopened in the UK after a long refurbishment. Some new construction and notes have been made regarding projects that I've literally just made videos on. Typical, I missed them by a few millimeters. And Thorpe Park's brand new roller coaster has gone vertical. Almost. All that and more has happened this past week in theme parks. Now, I keep telling myself not to make the intros of these TPWITP videos about, oh, you know what, I'm so consistent, but I'm going to do it anyway. Another episode down, am I right, guys? I can't believe it. This past day in theme parks is coming out. But in all seriousness, some of the topics that I'm going to discuss today, I've made bigger videos on already, so if you want to see more like that, and just more in the future, then please subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Now, as per usual, I was sat right there, totally sat there, a few minutes ago, and I wrote my notes up for what I'm going to talk about today. And I was sat there thinking, the only topic I can really think about is this. But then, as always, I was sat there and a light bulb flickered in my head, and I knew what to talk about. And I also knew that I needed to go to the doctors because there shouldn't be a light bulb in my brain. But as always, there is so much to cover. Again, so much. Including even some previous things that I've talked about in previous videos. And they've been further progressed on. Much like the Nemesis construction. I literally made a video on that like the other day. And since that video, it's already been reported that the vertical loop is going in. Wow, look at that photo. It's begun its ascent into the air via crane. But yeah, you can just about see it on that photo through the sort of fencing and stuff, and wow, doesn't it look beautiful? I mean, I don't know why I'm mad, because it was obvious that the loop was going to go in next, but to see it happen literally the day after I went, towers, why? But to see it go in so soon after it arrived at the car park is very epic to see. Because something I can be mad about is something I could have really prevented from being new news to me, because I'm just an idiot. And that's something regarding the new Drayton Manor roller coaster. Obviously, I did a full video explaining my thoughts and feelings and sort of my emotions towards that roller coaster. That whole video, I'm crying. All about the new coaster, and I also showed an animation of what it will potentially look like, and you get the picture. But what I didn't even see whilst I was reacting to that video is the fact that halfway through the animation, Intamin Rides, a manufacturer of rides, goes on to showcase that the bloody train has a backwards carriage if it's wanted. With the layout not being too thrilling and it's supposed to be a family thrill coaster, could we see the backwards carriage option put onto the ride so thrill seekers alike can go on it and experience thrill? And could it be an upcharge, £15 a ride? It might even spin whilst you're up there. I highly doubt it, but it'd be quite funny. Either way, that extremely ferocious launch coaster is coming to Drayton, and hopefully it's going to be a worthy replacement of the massive drop tower Apocalypse. I still think we should have a 180-foot drop track halfway through the ride for some nostalgia purposes. But two rides in the UK that recently reopened after refurbishment because they weren't just binned off like a drop tower, I know, are two wooden roller coasters in the country, and yeah, they're classic ones actually. They're not like Wicker Man, no. I'm talking about Megaphobia at Oakwood and Big Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Both actually reopened in the previous week, and both had massive refurbishments happen to them, and wow, how beautiful do they look in my hands right now. We're going to get the lesser improved one out of the way first, so by the way, Pleasure Beach fans, don't kill me for that. But Big Dipper has received an anniversary repaint and retheme, sort of. Some of the updates are very noticeable and look very nice, whilst others have been brought up by the boss of the park as to be updated soon, and they're not right and something. So how do we know that, you may ask? Well, obviously it's an employee sort of thing where the boss tells the employees, you know what, we need to change that round. How did she communicate that? Via twitter.com. But with all that aside, the ride exists again. It's been coated in a lovely red paint and it is looking as beautiful as ever. And apparently it's running a lot smoother as well, which that sounds pretty cool. Oh, the cooler one though, Megaphobia Oakwood. This looks amazing. This wooden roller coaster was the last wooden coaster to come to the UK before Wicker Man, and it opened in 1996. Bit of a gap, eh? As much as Big Dipper had a little bit of retracking and a little bit of repainting, Megaphobia has had this refurbishment and also had an immense retrack and reprofiling too. Two of the ride's airtime hills have now had double down and double up exits and entries put into it. I explained that so complicatedly. Basically, they've made it go down, down instead of just down. And then on a separate part of the ride, it goes up, up instead of up. And it's open and it looks like it makes the ride way more exciting. I've never done it though, so hopefully one day I'll get the chance to. It looks super smooth, super clean, and super Something else that is super and would actually probably help me get to Oakwood if I ever wanted to is something a little bit more personal actually on this past week in theme parks. So technically it's this past week in the world, but I do like to give you a little channel update and personal accomplishment record update when we can. So on stream I've talked a few times about the fact that I can't drive yet, and now I have passed mid-driving test. Would you believe it? But no, the only reason I wanted to quickly say about this is not just because I could get to Oakwood easier on my own means, but it also means that there's going to be so many more videos from so many different UK parks now that I have the freedom to travel to them. There's loads of different ones that I haven't experienced properly or did at a young age and just was too scared to go on anything there. So to be able to go back to these places is going to make for some great content, and also will make for some great mind-boggling thrill moments. So if there is a park that I haven't visited yet and you want to see a vlog from there that I haven't vlogged before, then please give me some suggestions down below. I'm going to create the most epic road trip, I swear to God. There is somewhere that I have been a lot, and I'm going to be there a lot next season because, oh boy. That park I'm talking about is, of course, Thorpe Park Resort in Surrey of England. Why would I be there so much? It's because they are building their brand new roller coaster, Project Exodus. That's obviously the code name for the project. I mean, I'd laugh a lot if it just was called Project Exodus forever. You know what? I might just call it Project for its lifetime now. But the reason I've stuck this in here is because there's a lot of important news regarding Project. That being that it started to go vertical. Sort of. This brand new ride, which is going to be 236 foot tall, beating the current record by 1 foot if you count the big one as 235. I'm not going into that debate. It's going to have 3 inversions, airtime galore, and it's all going to be packed into a controversially short layout, and it's going to be opening in 2024. But there's been no vertical construction yet. So what's happening there? Well, I'm glad to tell you there will be soon, because we have been witness to the first delivery of the Project Exodus support to Thorpe Park. Wow, look at it go! No, there's no phalanx trucks that I can see here. I know Alton Towers went a bit over the top for the Nemesis track delivery, but it feels weird not seeing track delivery or support delivery without some phalanx trucks and some soldiers. The white supports that have been delivered currently sit on the wrong island behind Swarm. Yes, they put it on the wrong island, guys. Oh no, it's getting built over there instead. You can't park there, mate. Obviously, that's going to be later moved to the actual Exodus site, where Exodus. But these supports are white coloured. Why is that significant? Well, if you haven't seen on a previous video of mine, the colour scheme has been shown to be a gold colour below and then further up a white colour to finish off. Meaning if that stays the case, these supports are likely to be the ones that are going to be way further up in the air than we expect. So as much as these supports won't go vertical yet, the fact we have them on site already is a good sign of things to come. I mean, considering how worried a lot of people were that it wasn't even going to open next year, I think this confirms that they're on track without the track yet. But either way, there's not much more to be said about that. You know, the supports have been delivered, the track could be on site soon. Give it a few weeks, it might be. And I would be one to believe that Project Exodus is going to be a UK #1 roller coaster by a mile, if Nemesis doesn't somehow get insanely better from its retrack. What are your thoughts on Project? Leave it in the comments below.